going to show you a simple way to add a pretty cool gold effect for things like type. I'll use it for other things as well. And the interesting thing about this technique is it's going to be done using still live type layers and simply a bunch of layer effects. So it's very easy to change your mind. So we're going to go in here and start. It doesn't really matter which one we start with, but you got to choose one of them. So I'll choose colored overlay, which defaults to the unusual choice of red. We don't know why, but it just does. So we're going to pick kind of a goldish color. And now you'll notice, so I'm going to do this working just on one type layer to begin with. And I'm going to try and do this so I can still get a pretty good idea of what's happening over here. So that's the first step. The second step is we're going to also do a gradient overlay. Now initially I'll pick one like one of these built-in ones here and probably lower the opacity. Now at first you can't see it, and that's because colored overlay is taking precedence. So we need to go back to colored overlay and choose some mode like overlay. So now we'll see the combination of the two of them. I'd also like to make this gold, now this is an optional step, but I want my gold to have a little bit of so it's not quite completely smooth. So I'm going to put a bit of a pattern in it, and I'm going to go in here and choose from these other options called rock patterns, and just add those into my patterns and use this one here called dirt. And you can see just a little bit of the effect there, just a little bit. Again, I might lower the opacity, and you also have the option of playing with the scaling, and I think in this case making the scaling a little bigger is probably a good idea. Just going to add a little bit of that non-smoothness. I don't know why I can't think of a better word than that. And finally, the last step to make it look even better is to go to bevel and emboss. We're going to choose, the technique will be chisel hard, and we need to change the size until we try to put that point right in the middle. And then the last thing that's going to make this gold look really a lot better is this gloss contour. Just going to pop up this list and just start looking at some of them. The chances are it's going to be one of the ones like this one or this one of these type ones. Probably this one. I think I like the look of this here. This one looks pretty good. Now at this point, if there's anything you're not quite happy about, the beauty of doing it this way, of course, is you can change it. You can, for example, go into colored overlay, and as you'll see, as I move the color around, you get an instant feedback because of the way this is working. So you can find the right color for the colored overlay. In the gradient, if there's anything about the gradient you don't like, for example, I think this might be a little on the light side, so I'll double click on that, which will bring me my color picker, and as you'll see, as I start picking different colors, see how it's giving me that immediate feedback. I can even change to a completely different color. Okay, maybe not that one, but something that's going to give me a different kind of effect as well. So again, this is all very live and on the fly. And the same thing with the pattern. If you want to look and see what it would look like if the pattern was a little more obvious and you change the scaling up or down, those are all options as well. So once you have it looking the way you want, then we have two other type layers. All we need to do is click on the effects symbol there, or where it says the word effects, hold down the option key on the Mac, Alt for Windows, drag onto this layer to copy it, and drag onto this layer to copy it. Now if we had many layers, we could also do it this way. You can go onto the effects area, control or right click and choose copy layer style, then you'd select all the layers and choose paste layer style. But the last thing I would do, if I've managed to come up with a really good looking style that I like, I'm going to find my style palette, click on this new icon and call it Gold-ish and save it. And now anytime I need it, I can use it. It's not just this document, any document at all. So let's make a new document, fill that with black, get some type, and doesn't really matter again the color, because all those things now we just have to take this one thing we click, and one click later we've got that effect that we like. Pretty darn cool, or as we might say, wowee. Now as I mentioned, when you create a style, it's not specific to the document you created. I created it in this document, but over here in this document, a simple click, one click, and I can apply the same style to this. Yeah. I'm Dave Cross. I'll see you next time.